deprivation. The B is for bollocks.
Once three jolly backpackers went across the outback, looking for sun and for sex and for sea. So they got a crappy car and they went out drive past Wolf Creek. Then they broke down and they ran into me. I'm a ruddy psycho, I'm a ruddy psycho, I'm a ruddy psycho, you don't fuck with me. And they drank my drugged water and I stuck 'em in the killing shed. I'm a ruddy psycho, you don't fuck with me. One of the Sheilas upped and went and got away. Shot me in the neck, nicked me truck and me keys, and they didn't get very far. Dumped the truck right down a hole. Then they tried to run from a psycho like me. I'm a ruddy psycho, I'm a ruddy psycho, I'm a ruddy psycho, you don't fuck with me. And I stabbed and I shot and I burned them on a great big fire. I'm a ruddy psycho, the biggest you'll see. Worst accent ever. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Blackdog, number 177. 177. Hey. There you go. I'm Lee.
And I'm Darren.
And this week, obviously, we are joined by our guest host, Jim.
Hello, folks.
I feel like I was doing a stage left and you came in from stage right.
Like to keep them guessing.
Anyway, so this week we will be doing another Ask Willem. We'll be having a bit of news, a bit of chat. We probably won't have a bit of news because news is a bit thin on the fucking ground.
Well, there might have been something in the last 5 minutes. I mean, Jet Lucas might have.
Lucas may have announced something.
He
there.
might have.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I'm going to the loo.
And then we'll be discussing our fourth week of horror, our penultimate week of horror, which is Wolf Creek, where we go down the billabong and get stabbed up the arse by a jolly swag man.
Lovely.
But before we get to all of that, let's go around the virtual table and see how everyone's week has been. So, Jim, over to you, sir. How's your week been this week?
I finally got round to actually watching something I have been recording for years and not watching.
Oh, that's always good.
Well, a few years ago, ITV did a series called Whitechapel about cops investigating a copycat killer who was recreating the Jack the Ripper crimes.
I've seen
and it was very good.
Yeah.
And there was another series which I taped and didn't get round to watching. And then a third, and I thought, well, I'm in for a penny, called it that. Then, Christ, the fourth one was on long ago. I thought, I've got to get round and watch these. I really enjoyed the first one, but I think it was always on some night when I was always busy, you know. It's suddenly 15 minutes in, you'd remember it was on. Oh, shit. Oh, I've recorded, it's all right. See, it's in the bank. So I finally got round to, I went back to the start, rewatched the first one, and then pretty much powered my way through
Nice.
of the other three series. And it's one of those series that I think is kind of being rather overlooked because it's actually really good. And it actually gets better as it goes along. I mean, it's of a high standard to start with. And because the first series, I think it's 3 parts, if I remember rightly, and it's the Jack the Ripper story. The second series is like another 3-parter, and that's drawing on the lore of the Krays.
Oh, yeah.
The notorious East End gangsters, modelled on Doug and Dinsdale Piranha, obviously.
Obviously.
But then the third and fourth series, they're 6-parters, and they're all 3 2-part investigations. But they actually start sort of building up a story arc that's running through it, and it's kind of, it's dark, it's sinister, it's incredibly violent and macabre. But it's just all the crimes they have some sort of historical links, and it's kind of, but not in a crap Da Vinci Code way, but it's kind of, you know, what their modus operandi, and they look at past crimes and try and work out the pattern for a crime that's currently happening. There's normally something horrible about someone flaying people's faces off and leaving them in art galleries or other, charming fare.
Yeah.
But it's a really good series. I think it was overlooked because I think it was made by ITV, the light channel and purveyor of crap.
You mean the reality channel, as it is now?
Well, if this series had come out of America, people would be wanking over it until their fingers were bloody.
Now that's a poster quote right there. You'd like this so much you'd wank over until your fingers were bloody. Jim Moon.
But it's perfect viewing for this time of year, for the dark autumn nights before Halloween.
Nice.
I believe most of the series are on Love Film and other streaming services, and so check that out. I've thoroughly. It's one of those I thought I should ration this. I'm enjoying it so much, but it's one that I'm going to watch another one.
Just watch them all.
It's 1 a.m. Got to watch another one.
Oh, nice.
I thoroughly recommend that. That's how I wasted my week.
Oh, well, there you go. So, Jim sat in front of the telly all day. What did you do, Dal?
I kind of did the same thing, actually. Of course, this week my two viewing pleasures have been. I'll get the worst one out of the way first.
Go on.
I sat and subjected myself to the documentary Room 237.
Oh.
Room 237. Oh, how do I hate thee? Let me count the ways. Jesus fucking H Christ.
Right.
That's all. That's my review of that.
Can I just cast your mind back to episode 122, and then now just remind you that I told you so.
Yes, you did. But Laura was looking through Love Film and she went, "Oh, there you go, Room 237. I'd like to have a watch of that." And I thought, "Oh, all right, fine. Let's sit and watch it." And I don't know how I lasted all the way through it. I've never said, "Oh, fuck off," so many times while sitting there, just listening to this diatribe of fucking conspiracy bullshit. It's just, oh my word. I mean, I've been nitpicky about stuff in my time while watching films. Yeah, a few bits, you know.
Oh.
But these guys, I'm not joking. They've taken a microscope to The Shining, and I do mean a microscope because that's the only way you could spot some of this stuff in the actual movie is by using a microscope on the actual film. Okay, let's take for instance, there's one woman who goes on about a skiing poster, right?
Minotaur.
That's right. It says, now, if you look at the poster, I mean, look, at first you think it's a skiing poster, but oh no, look at it a bit closer. You'll see that it's actually a Minotaur. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, no, that's a bloke on skis. Seriously, love, that is a bloke on skis. That's not a Minotaur, because the Minotaur never had a full sort of bodysuit and, reflective sunglasses and shit like that, It never holidayed in Switzerland at all, as far as I know. I don't know. There might be a sequel to its original story, whatever.
Yeah.
And it just goes from
sublime to ridiculous.
Sublime to ridiculous. No, it just goes from ridiculous to fucking ridiculous. There is no sublime. There is just ridiculous to fucking ridiculous. It is ridiculous from the word go. It is just a bunch of. I'm not joking. They just walked into a mental asylum, put a microphone in the middle of the fucking common room, switched it on and walked off, went down to McDonald's, had a few burgers, came back, picked up the recorder and went back and made a film.
Yeah.
Out of it. Or, well, if you could call it a film.
So you got up and walked out mentally the minute they mentioned the Minotaur. So how did you feel about the Nazi typewriter?
The Nazi fucking typewriter.
Or the
Nazis, the moon. It's all this. It's that. Because you can read about the Holocaust into this because he picked up a copy of Jane Eyre and then wiped his arse with it. But it's not that he wiped his arse with it. It's the way he threw it in the bin. It's like you're all cunts. Yeah, it is. It's just. I'm sorry. They are. They all need they all need serious help. These people.
Yeah.
In fact, that's probably the most sane of them need serious help. Some of them just need putting away.
Yeah.
You know, they've studied
Some of
this
them
film
just need a slap.
too much. Yeah, some of them do need a slap. It's like there's that whole thing about the fades, right, between scenes. And there's the fade where you've got it shows the hotel and it slowly fades to somebody sweeping up the courtyard. And the bloke's gone, well, look at this, look how it fades in. And he looks like a giant. He looks like a giant. Yeah. And that's really significant. And I can't remember what it was all about because I think the blast doors on my ears suddenly came down. You know, it's like a natural reaction. I've got the fucking shit like this. Normally it's my eyes and I just go to sleep. But no, it was during the day, so I wasn't even feeling tired. So, you know, my body couldn't find anything at all to work on.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's room 237. Yeah. But getting on to the good stuff now.
Okay.
Something to wash the taste out of my mouth. I gave Haven a go.
Shaven Haven.
No, just Haven. The show Haven. For anybody who doesn't know what this is about,
join the club.
It's about I really like it. It's about this seaside town that's just strange stuff happens in it.
So it's a Eureka, but made in Sheen.
Well, Eureka would have the general sort of like, oh, it was aliens that did this, blah, blah, blah. But no, the problems that these people have, and it's various individuals have had, that there's something happened to the people in that town or some of the individuals, and they've got these, I don't know if they're curses, abilities, or what. I'll give you an example. There's one episode where this FBI agent who's come to this town to investigate, she went in the first episode to investigate one thing, and she's ended up staying there because at the end of the episode, she receives a piece of paper, a news report, and it's this headline that says, "Who killed the Colorado kid?" And the woman who's standing in the picture, and it's a picture of something that happened in 1977, is her, but with different hair. And it's kind of like, well, how can that be her? Standing there, it's like, is that someone she's related to? Is it a coincidence that the woman looks like her? So now she's got this thing of trying to find out what went on there. But in between that, in the episodes, you've got like the guy she's partnering up with, the sort of like the town sheriff, because she's from the FBI and she kind of takes a holiday to stay in the town a bit longer.
Yeah.
So the sheriff that she's mixed up with can't feel pain. He can't feel anything. Right. He can't feel cold. He can't feel heat. Anything like that.
Right.
You've got another guy who's got. Was it in one episode they investigated why people were going crazy. I mean, it's like people were starting to get violent in this mental home. It was the doctor suddenly goes like the Incredible Hulk. Right. And yet all the mad people, all the sort of like the patients, were all completely sane. They suddenly went sane. So all the normal people went mad, and all the mad people went normal.
Okay, can I stop you there?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to try. I'm obviously going to have a little watch of this, but the reason I'm going to stop you is because does this look like it's going anywhere, or is this going to be one of those?
No, it is
we
going
get to season 9 and everyone just goes.
No. There is it does progress. I've seen like a later episode. This is what drew me into it.
Right.
So it's just laying the groundwork now. So it's kind of like a bit like the X-Files was, where it's a different problem every week, but you know, you will find out that there's a bit more to the town than it's just a random occurrence.
Right.
So yeah, it's the little unusual goings on and not the standard sort of run of the mill cliched things you'd find in a show like this.
Right.
They've actually had a little bit of thought put into them. So there's a slight twist to even the weirdest of problems.
And it does feel like there's actually a decent reason behind it, or is it all just a bit too early to say for now?
I've only watched the first 4 episodes, but they're already feeding little tidbits about the girl, why she was in the picture. It's like, or why that, why they look alike. She thinks it may be her mother because she never met her mum. She was like orphaned at a very young age.
She's her own mum.
Who knows?
Ooh.
Who knows? But yeah, there's somebody who's just remembered something about the girl in the picture. You'd have to watch the episode about the mental patient. But I really like it. Okay. I think it's good. Okay. And I'm kind of sticking with it.
And
now.
Where did you see this?
I got this on. They've got the first 3 seasons on Love Film at the moment, right. So it may very well be on Netflix as well. Okay. I didn't realise there were 3. I thought it was only 2 seasons, but no, there's 3 seasons altogether.
Because whenever you say Haven, I just think of a P&O style ship.
No, it's a small fishing village.
Okay.
that has guest star of the week.
Right.
Yeah.
So I believe it's loosely based on a Stephen King novel.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
or,
right.
or spun off for one. I'm not entirely sure. I've not
What?
read the book or seen the series. It's,
Really? Is it what you mean, like the Tommy Knockers or something like that?
It is. It's not like that at all. It's, as I say, it's to begin with. It's just starting off with unusual, not quite right problems, and it's nice that it's the FBI woman who's seeing that they're sort of like this is more than just normal, and the copper that's in the sheriff there is actually in the town. He's kind of like no, there's some other explanation for it.
Ah, right.
So
Okay.
she's fully going on board of it. It's kind of like the opposite Dana Scully thing, where she's actually like, no, there's something a bit supernatural going on here, or something a bit odd.
There's a mad juju going on here.
There is some mad juju going on. Yes.
Cool. Anything else?
No, apart from watching the
Porn.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
Cool. Okay. Well, my week's been pretty dull. I've just been absolutely hammering this project, trying to get it finished, then screaming at the computer, then crying, bashing my head against the computer. If anyone wants to laugh at my misfortune, I did manage to rub mustard in my eyes.
fucking hellfire.
That was where Carol made me a lovely steak pie. Lovely. Then she put some mustard on the side, just
it was all there.
and laid out in front of me, and it was looking lovely. And so then, like, there's Carol's left mustard on the side, and it was lovely. It was great. And then I said, I've had my meal, and I thought, okay, fine. And she's sitting there, she's had her meal. It was very nice. And I picked up the plates, and I took them out, and I put the plates in the dishwasher, and then I sneezed, and I thought, oh, God, and I wiped my nose, and then I suddenly, wiped my eye, forgetting that I'd obviously picked up the plate with my thumb in the mustard and wiped it in my eye. Several minutes of screaming and throwing about 40 gallons of water in my eye, and it was all over. But
Why is Daddy crying?
no, the kids were upstairs.
Were they? Oh, right.
Yeah, it was all cool. But apart from that, what else? What else? Oh yeah, went to see Turbo,
Okay.
which
We're not talking about that character from Breakdance the movie, are we?
No, we're not talking about no, not talking about that. What we're talking about is the CGI animated snail movie
Oh, right.
about a snail who aspires to be fast and then gets sucked into the engine of a sort of one of these street racing cars.
Short film.
Yeah, exactly. and then he ends up getting fuel injected, which means that he has superpowers.
Right.
And then he goes to race in the Indy 500.
Okay.
I don't think I'll leave any spoilers when I say, guess what happens?
He wins.
it's a compelling kitchen sink drama.
Yeah, it's a Mike Lee kitchen sink docudrama. No, yeah,
It's got Alan Bennett in it.
yeah.
But I don't know, Mr. Snail.
I wasn't very happy. I saw those quick cars and I thought, oh dear. No, Mrs. Miggins won't be happy with her petunias if I don't deliver them on time. Anyway, no, it's just, but it's insipid. it's really,
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, it's kind of telling when the kids are actually sitting there asking you more about the Walking with Dinosaurs trailer that came before it, all the way through while watching it. So, yeah, avoid if you can. The character stuff is all right, but the character look, but everyone's street yo and Sam.
God, I love films like that.
Yeah. And there's racing snails played by Snoop Dogg.
Oh.
And Samuel L. Jackson.
Really?
Yeah. And
Right. So I give this 5 to 7 years before it looks really horrible and racist then.
it looked horrible and racist about 3.5 seconds after it hit the screen. Because I tell you what, one of the things is that they're taking whole things taking place at this sort of strip mall where basically the whole place is circling around a burrito cafe. When there's two Mexicans and they are doing the burritos, everything is for the burritos. And it's like, yeah, calling the race relations board. Please come in.
Ketchup? I don't need no stinking ketchup.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it is that kind of thing. Yeah.
Which studio is responsible for this?
DreamWorks, which means that you can guarantee that every character looks like they're having a stroke while smiling. Which is kind of, if you look at any of the posters, always look at a poster, you can always tell if it's a DreamWorks production because they've always got this kind of look. I'm going to do it to Darren.
If you look at their hands, do they look like their fingers are just fucking Twixie biscuits?
Yeah.
That thick and horrible.
Yeah, they're big Twixie biscuit fingers, and everyone's got this kind of like one eye closed, one eye up, one sardonic eyebrow, and a kind of crookedy kind of circa 1980s Bruce Willis smirk. Yeah. So yeah,
I've got the poster up now. Yeah,
yeah.
It's like stroke victims unite.
Yeah, stroke victims trying to smile as they slowly sink to the floor. Yeah. So there was that. That was rubbish. Avoid. It's basically all I can say to that. I never quite got to see it, but I will be reporting on it next week. I also have queued up, ready to go, at Jack P. Starrow's insistence. Pain and Gain, the Michael Bay movie about muscle builders.
Really?
Yes.
I actually want to see that.
Do you?
Yeah, because I've seen some clips of it and it didn't look too bad. So I thought, all right, maybe we'll give it a go.
Number 6 in an ever-increasing weeks of horror.
Yes, number 6. And that was the other thing I saw, which, thanks to you, sir, because I didn't pay any money for it. I shouldn't probably say that.
Yes, because I gave you the DVD, didn't? Or should I say the Blu-ray? Didn't I, Lee?
You did. Yes, you
Yes.
gave me the review copy. Blu-ray.
Ah, this is okay. Hold on. Let me just. Just gotta. There we go. Crack the knuckles.
Yeah, go on.
There we go. Right. Okay. Let's go. This is going to be a massive therapy session. Oops. I've just killed my tablet.
He's just killed his tablet. Right. I
punched it right now.
Right, while he's punching the tablet right in the face,
right in the Android,
right in the power socket, I saw World War fucking Z, which should have been the actual title, to be honest. So, okay, right. Have you seen it, Jim?
No, I've still avoided it so far.
Okay.
Good man.
It should be just simply called Brad Pitt's Happy Coincidence Jaunt Around the World. That's what it should be called. It should be called Happy Coincidence.
Brad Pitt, was it Brad on a Beano? There we go.
Yeah. Brad gets some time off from the wife. That's what that's called. Brad's international jolly. And I watched it and I was actually, you know what? I knew that Lindelof was involved and I knew that this film wasn't anything like the book, and I thought, you know what? I've got to give it at least a fighting chance.
You did exactly what I did when I walked in there and sat in that cinema seat.
Yeah, but the thing is, I didn't sit in a cinema seat, and I still have not given Mr. Lindelof any of my coffers.
Well, I got one of those Cineworld cards, so I didn't actually hand over any cash. Physical.
You still paid. You paid in more ways than one.
Yes, I certainly did.
So, Jim, basically, you've got the ideas of a really good zombie movie because it's like the outbreak just like kind of happens, sort of modern day. 28 Days Later meets Dawn of the Dead for that kind of world breaking down really quickly kind of thing. Then there's this whole thing of like we have to find the source of the virus. That way we can actually identify what's causing the problem and then cure the problem. And the long and the short of it is that the person who's actually going to cure the problem basically shoots himself in the face 3 seconds into the fucking movie.
And it's not even deliberately. It's accidentally shoots himself in the face.
They literally give this guy a gun and say, right, stick close to us, stick with the Marines, you'll know what's going on, and then if if they move, you move, if they stay still, you stay still. He slips on the ramp and shoots himself straight in the mouth.
What a twat.
Right? But anyway, the rest of the film just seems to be this. Brad turns up, and as he turns up, everyone who thinks that they're cool, who've been cool and calm and survived this terrible situation that's been going on all around the world, suddenly lose all their brains, all their marbles, all any kind of, self-preservation. It all goes out the window, and all of a sudden, Brad has to run away. Do that 5 times, and I think you pretty much got the entire film.
There's a bunch of zombies coming. Run!
Run! That's it. That's all it is. It's insipid, stupid, bland, boring, predictable, annoying film. The zombies just look like someone's having a bit of one of those. When you go through like a market, and there's always that guy who's got those little jelly men that he's throwing against the glass, and they kind of roll down the glass. Like those little octopuses that you used to have to roll in sort of, fairy liquid or something. Imagine he was carrying a box of them, and then he slipped on some marbles and threw them all in the air. That's pretty much what you get with the average zombie attack. It's just like someone threw a box of jelly men at the screen, and it's like. And it's just stupid, because the thing is, most of the time these jelly men, all they do is they fall off of things. They fall off of walls. They fall off of buildings.
They do a lot of. They would actually. I think this film would have been better had they changed the actual incidental music to the Carry On stuff.
Da, da, da. Da, 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 da.
Oh, can I just say something about the zombies as well, Jim? Just for your information. These are quite fruity zombies as well, because they like giving people love bites, because they don't actually bite properly. They don't like rip out your throat or your guts or try to eat you. They just give you a little bit of a nibble, and that's it. You're done.
That's it. But the thing is also the thing is that it's like the world. It's like the world's worst skydiving team. All the time. They just flail out of windows and flail out of doors and hit the floor, and then still manage to get up and run around, because that impact wouldn't like shatter every bone in their legs, body, arms, everything. No,
well, they're made of jelly.
Yeah, they are made of jelly. They're made of jelly and fairy liquid. Anyway, so they're made of jelly and fairy liquid, and sorry, we're having technical issues. I'm not even going to try and paper over that crack. Fuck it. God. Right, okay. So, no, the thing that got me, right, with this film was that the whole last half was just filled with people being idiots. Because there's this whole thing, Jim, where like there's this sort of possible emergent conspiracy where Israel knew that the whole thing was coming a month before it happened, and so therefore had the ability to build an entire wall. Are you still right? So they managed.
This is all sounding very suspect to me.
Exactly. So they managed to build a wall all the way around Jerusalem, and they were aware of all the zombies before they turned up. They then managed to also build cages leading into the town so they can get people in, and then had helicopter patrols patrolling the walls. All good so far.
The subtext of this is frightening.
Ah, no, it's
How is it not being sued yet?
I don't know. So they knew about this all beforehand, yet somehow they completely missed the one vital piece of information. That zombies
shut the doors.
Yeah, well, pretty much. They basically realise, well, they don't realise, is that zombies are attracted by sound. So what do? They let a girl pick up a microphone and a megaphone and then do a bit of a sing-song right next to the wall.
I mean, that is nothing anyway. I mean, because they didn't all go around in slippers and, tiptoe and stuff like this. I mean, there was noise generating from it anyway. Yeah. So really the thing about noise, you've got your thundering helicopters going overhead. I mean, there are a few more louder noises than somebody picking up a microphone and giving it 3 bars of, they call it acid by D-Mob. It's...
But the thing that gets me, right? The thing that gets me is, so she starts singing, and then everyone starts singing, and then the whole town is singing, like in some kind of like sort of weird West Side Story kind of thing.
It's a small world after
all. Y'all be swell. Y'all be great. Got a lot of zombies on the gate. Starting here. Starting now. Anyway, and basically, the zombies all hear this and they all come barreling up against the wall and they start piling on top of each other. Now, this is a big old wall. And there's lots of helicopters flying around, and yet some, lucky happenstance means that all the zombies pile up exactly where all these helicopter gunships weren't looking.
Exactly. What? What do you mean there's zombies over there? No, don't believe you, they're over there.
And then, when the zombies start to climb over this wall, they start to do their sort of, guide dog skydiving affair. Which is over like a 600 foot high wall, turn to mush when they hit the floor, but then still get up and then start infecting all the people around them.
Yep.
Cue Brad having to do another runner. And it's just like, it just seems like they just repeated it over and over again, the same scene over and over again. Brad comes into a place previously fortified and generally considered safe, because these people have been careful. He turns up, everyone turns into a complete fuck nugget, and zombies get in.
Well, you see, because they needed to go to Israel, right?
Yeah.
Because they needed a female soldier who was carrying a grenade so that it can explode on the aeroplane and bring them right down outside or 3 foot away from the World Health Organization Centre in Wales.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, which just happens to be the only secure place in Wales.
Apparently so.
Yeah. And then you get a Benny Hill chase sequence around the World Health Organization, which is just stupid. And everything about this film just feels like all it does is just plods from one thing to the next. Oh, well, we've got to have another run. Okay, so let's have this previously unbreachable defense suddenly be breached so that Brad can run away.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'll tell you what, right? When you get bitten, of course, right? Apparently, people in this reality, their bloodstreams don't run very fast.
No.
You see, because, if you can chop off a limb, right? Okay, even though you've been bitten, it doesn't matter, right? If you break the skin and you bleed and it's got the zombie virus in it, it doesn't matter because, as long as you've chopped that hand off, you're fine, right? No matter that, as soon as they're bitten, it's like that old myth about sucking out the fucking venom from a snake bite, right? Yeah, once it's in your bloodstream, that's it, you're fucked.
Yeah, because this virus literally happens in 10 seconds.
Yeah, it does. You see him counting down.
Well, he doesn't. A soft toy counts down.
But this is the thing also. If you notice the bit when, so I think it's him or someone else gets bitten, right? He starts the 10-second countdown 20 seconds after they've been bitten. And it's like, well, Brad, I think they would have bitten your face off by now. Oh, no, actually, no, I think they would have nibbled your cheek.
Well, the worst bit, the worst bit about all this film is it's just every single. It was made like it was supposed to be a TV show because it just seemed to have the same structure every 10 minutes, and there was nothing in there that made you suddenly go, "Oh yeah, they're getting to the heart of this problem." It was just like, and there was even little hints of other stuff going on, like I say, with Israel sort of putting up a wall early. And then suddenly you speak to the Israeli minister and he just turns around and goes, oh, yeah, well, there's supposed to be 11 people who take guess on things. And if 10 of them think one thing, then the other one has to think the other thing. So that's why they put a wall up. It's like, what the fuck? The whole thing is written by a bunch of buffoons.
Yeah, it's like there's like the only thing from the book. And there was one thing in it that started giving me hope. That maybe all right.
Credits.
Yeah, the credits. But no, it was when they started talking about Patient Zero, and I thought, okay, well now they are starting to draw from the. Oh no, wait a minute, no, it was just 2 words, Patient and Zero. That's all they've taken from the book because, right, okay, so the original Patient Zero in China, and this one now it's a boy, a small 12-year-old boy, right, and in this it's a 50-year-old bloke in Taiwan or something.
Do you know what? I didn't care by that point.
Yeah.
I genuinely couldn't give a fucking rat's ass.
Korea.
All I know is that the guy from Gregory's Girl looks fat and he has a little moustache and he can't fill up a plane for shit. That's all I know.
It's
John, what's his name? What's his name? Where's Gregory's Girl?
I
John
can't-
Gordon Sinclair.
Is he?
That's
Was he
it,
in
yeah.
this?
Yeah.
Oh, there
Yeah,
you go.
he's a soldier. He's a soldier who gets out of the plane to dig up all the fuel,
Right.
and then
Shows
says,
how much I
and then
care.
goes, "That bloody bit, Jerusalem better be worth it." And then you never see him again.
Do you know what why?
That just about sums up the entire film, really. You just kind of go, right. Oh, that was John Gordon Sinclair. What film was he in? And by the time you work that out, like half the film's gone round and you don't feel like you missed anything.
Yeah.
You'd rather watch Gregory's Girl.
Yeah, actually, you probably would rather watch Gregory's Girl, to be honest. But yeah,
Or there is another film he did called That Sinking Feeling about some blokes in Glasgow who plan a heist to steal sinks. And he's in he kind of takes it a bit too serious. No, I'm not joking. It is funny. They're talking about, scenes where they're talking about, can you cook cornflakes and shit like that. But there is one bit when
What?
he takes it a bit too seriously. They go on the heist and everybody's in their normal street clothes, dishing out this.
I feel
dishing
like
out
we've
these
taken a
sinks.
left-hand turn here. Go on.
And he leaps out the back of a truck in full sort of ninja gear like Spider-Man. So, yes, possibly about the funniest bit of that film. You had to be there.
I think so.
Yes. So there you go. That's the two films of Gordon Sinclair
Yeah.
that I know.
Yeah, John Gordon Sinclair. So yeah, anyway, World War Z. Yeah, it's a nothing movie. It passed over without a trace. And the cure, or the way they get around the zombies in the end is just fucking ridiculous.
You know what? I'm going to say what it is anyway. I don't give a shit. You
Go on.
know, because look, guys, if you want to listen, if you want to watch it, then fine,
Skip forward
cover your
5
ears.
minutes.
But the cure, or should I say, one of the ways around the zombies is they figure out that the zombies know when people are sick, and so they don't attack them. So
The virus needs a healthy host.
That's right. And so they all start pumping themselves with they're in the World Health Organization, so they've got a whole raft of these different deadly diseases.
Smallpox or something, isn't it?
I think it was like Ebola or something that Brad injected into his eyeballs or something like that. I don't know. But
Yeah.
then they had a cure for it.
Yeah.
Fuck's
Yeah.
sake.
As long as they got a cure for it. So then what happens is he goes in, he injects himself with...
Yeah.
No, it's typhus, isn't it?
Something like
He
that.
injects himself with typhus, then picks up all the viruses and walks out and walks all the way past the zombies. And they don't see him.
And the film itself ends, right, in the same sort of way that I used to write stories at school. Where I'd have all these big plans. You know, I was like, okay, I'm going to write this story about these people escaping from a German prisoner of war camp because that's what
And they
teaches
did,
it.
the end.
Yeah, and that's it. And it's like, start doing out all this stuff, and I get bored and go, and then they dug a tunnel and got out. That's it. It's like, that's kind of how that ends. It is like,
Yeah.
this is not the end of the story, but, well, we did this and we
Yeah.
did that, and
Things happened and shit.
yeah.
Yeah,
Thankfully, I've not heard that they're actually filming a sequel.
they are.
They are.
Mm.
Fucking hellfire. Why?
I don't fucking know because idiots like you went and saw it. Got tickets.
We
on
gave
there.
it a chance. We know the score now, right?
Well,
Okay?
Yeah.
This is it. We know the score now. I'm not going to go and see the next one that comes out. I know that for fucking sure because they can't write for fucking toffee, right? That's it.
I've only been saying
Oh.
this about this man for the last...
Do you know what?
Ah.
The biggest travesty of this is that you won't be able to make a proper adaptation of this now for another 10 years because they've still had the rights to it. You know, this is why it took us to get why it took us so long to get a proper Judge Dredd film.
Yeah.
And this is why happens every time somebody makes a fucking shit version of a book. You see, it's not so much they've made a shit version of the book, is that no other fucker can touch it for so long and actually make a proper version. Like Wanted. You know, that. Nobody can make a proper version of Wanted now for the next 8 to 9 years because whichever studio has it has still got the rights to it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore. You know
Shall
what?
we do some news?
That's it, Jim. Let's keep doing. No, actually, I'll tell you what. Let's not do news. Let's not do news. Oh, do we have to do news, Jim?
Nah.
Yay!
We got some news.
Oh, fucking hell.
Hey, we're gonna hear some news now.
I refuse to do the news. The news for the last X amount of weeks has been bullshit. Whoever else wants to do the news, do the bloody news. You two sort it out amongst yourselves. I'm fucking sitting here. I'm going to grump.
Right then, over to Jet Lucas.
What does Jet Lucas think? Yeah!
Yes. And the word from Jet Lucas this week is apple.
Yeah, great. I done seen it, and it be the best thing ever. Go on, come on in, you twats! You're making us do the fucking news. I'm just sitting here. I'm just
Well, there is
hosting.
very little.
No, you pulled the trigger on this, man. You.
Well,
Go on in, Jim.
one that we'll all be really, really pleased to hear is Tim Burton might be returning for Beetlejuice 2.
See, it's a might. It's not a would.
Do you know how they know this? Because they saw him in fucking the pound shop picking up a copy of Beetlejuice from the bargain bin.
and 400 stripy candy canes for
Yes.
set dressing.
That's it. Well, they're £1 each, so you can get a few.
Oh, do you know what? I have zero interest in a Beetlejuice sequel. I mean, Michael Keaton's going to, about 106 now?
Yeah.
It's hardly going to be what I would call almost, sort of like a fizzing portrayal of a crazy ghost, is it? But
Yeah, it's one of those. It's kind of 10 years ago. I might have had some enthusiasm.
yeah. Now
Now it's kind of really. Do you have to?
no, you just know Beetlejuice is going to be played by Johnny Depp. Fucking Helena Bonham Carter will turn up as a headstone or something, and the landscape will be all green and black, and
Curly whirly trees.
curly whirly trees, and maybe Christopher Walken or some surviving horror icon will be drafted in to just sort of be propped against the wall and go, yes, and then that'll be it.
It's crazy.
Yeah, look, it's Christopher Lee. He's still alive, everybody. Or something like that, and then they'll just move on. So there. Anyone? Why am I being sucked into this news? Go on, you carry on.
See, you just can't resist it, can you?
Shut up. Get on with it. Go on. Pull your news trigger. News felch.
Of course. Even bigger news.
Go on.
Okay, than of course the Beetlejuice news. There is, of course, Fast and Furious 7 news now.
Get out.
What, you don't want to know that Vin Diesel and Tony Jaa are sort of like, going to be in Fast and Furious 7?
Do you know what? I didn't know they weren't in Fast and Furious 6. If you had told me that was the case, I would have just gone, yep, fine. 2 cunts in a car. That's what it should be
Fast
called.
and Furious 7, 2 cunts in a car.
Cunts in a Corvette. Fast and Furious 7.
Yep. There has been some footage.
Shit in a Chevrolet.
There has been some footage from the Man of Steel sequel, but to tell you the truth, it could have been just someone at any American football match just filming that. So, there we go. There's Gotham versus
Metropolis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all it is.
Yeah. And you know what? Again, what's that? That's like someone filming their kids' school football team.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened.
See? I didn't even want to include that. I didn't include that. See, you brought this on yourself. Go on, find some more news. Go on, chop, joldy.
Right then. A school in Gloucester was closed down today because of an invasion of venomous spiders. Yes, folks, the spider war's begun, they have. And that's true.
Yeah, it is. It's the false widows, isn't it? Was it? They found
The
a
false
nest of
widows.
the false widows. Yeah, yeah. That's all those women who like guys who dress up and in.
There will now be a short intermission.
Well, it's still broken. Everything's still fucking broken. So we're recording another bit now. That doesn't mean to say that you two get off of having to do the fucking news. So we've had spiders.
Yes.
We've had something else that I can't quite remember. Actually, I can't remember any of the news.
No.
Except for you.
Well.
You idiots. Go on.
Well, apparently Bruce Campbell in an interview has said that Sam Raimi is indeed writing a script for Army of Darkness 2, and he's up to star in it.
Yay!
Big dick.
Oh God! If it wasn't all coming through so loud, oh God. Okay, Army in Darkness. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, that's fine. You know, whatever. I mean, it's obviously, I did see in that news section, actually, it was quite interesting that he said that at the Comic-Con, and he said, oh, everything was going fine, and I was appearing in films, and then I wasn't, and that's why I'm here telling you this. No, he's quite honest about it. You got to give him that. Are anyone interested in Army Darkness 2? Especially considering that Evil Dead's just been recently rebooted.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be adverse to it, as I think what held back the original Army of Darkness was that they wouldn't give Raimi the money to do it.
That's true.
Whereas, now he is Sam Raimi TM, and they will throw pots of cash at him quite happily. So,
okay. So
yeah, I've got a positive take on it, though. Whether it'll happen, is it more vaporware? I don't know.
Like I say, I'm sitting back from today's news. I'm just letting you guys just say, we are having so many technical issues, and all the news is cobblers. Well, not your news, or just just news in general. It's all cobblers. So come on, Dal. What's next bit? Since you made me cue up the bloody jingle in the first place.
Well,
go on.
Let's have a look. Apparently, the new Winter Soldier poster has been released.
Right. Next.
And it shows a rather worried-looking Captain America standing on the actual tailgate of an open sort of like aeroplane. Like, is anybody going to shut this? Because, we're getting dangerously high now.
There's a, was it? Isn't there like a helicarrier or something?
Yes, you can see the helicarrier right outside in the actual view out the back of the plane as well. So obviously, S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to play, looks like it's going to play quite a big part in this one because Black Widow's in this as well. I've seen sort of like pictures of the bits with Steve Rogers.
I've seen bits.
And yes, we've all seen Black Widow's bits.
Anyway, so right.
I think that's it.
Is that it then?
Yep.
I've got one more bit.
Oh, Jim, keeping the dream alive. Go on then.
You're not gonna like it.
Go on.
Apparently, on Badass Digest, the headline is, all dead characters will return in Avatar sequels.
What?
Yeah, go on.
Or rather, Stephen Lang's Colonel Quidditch, or whatever his name is coming back. And not just for 2, but for 3 and 4, and Avatar, Agents of Spin-Off, and Avatar Clown Wars, the lunchbox selling kiddified cocksucker milk franchise dry.
I take it.
Might have made up the last bit.
I don't know. It wouldn't matter. It'll be on Joe Blow by the end of the week. Oh, fucking hell! You know,
I told you wouldn't like it.
Fucking Avatar. I mean, really. Avatar's just the biggest, longest tech demo for your graphics card that ever existed. It's boring old shit, and all it is, it's just they replaced Ewoks with 17-foot-high blue Smurfs. Yeah. It wasn't even any good for that, really. I mean, even the graphics, they were nice, but... Okay.
They spent sort of like most of the animation budget on the two main leads, and all the other sort of like, you know, what the fuck were they called?
Mr. Sheen.
And Cat Lady.
The cat Sheens.
Lady, yeah.
The Martin Sheens.
Gargamel.
Father Abraham.
Yeah, exactly. Father Abraham. Yeah.
Bear in the Big Blue House.
Yeah, Bear in the Big Blue Cock. Call back. I don't care. I genuinely don't care. I'm so burnt out with all this stupid news. The only piece of news I actually had, which was there's going to be a Darth Vader 2-part TV special.
Oh, God, I've forgotten about that.
Which is either going to be him at Disney World doing a tour.
And over here you see the Epcot Center.
Come to Disneyland. It is your destiny.
Would you like some Mickey Mouse ears? It is your destiny. Join me, Luke, and together we can ride Chaos Mountain together. Somebody pushed the button, he stopped breathing.
And because I'm disabled, I get to the front of the queue. I can go on the rides quicker. Yeah, that was about all I had. So,
I think the best reaction to that was a poster on Den of Geek in the comments who just wrote, "Why don't they have him being fucked by a mouse and have done with it?"
It's you know what? Just by saying it, it's already happened. Yep. Rule 34 comes into play 100% in that case. Oh dear. So, there you go. I left the news to you two. And that's what I got.
Thoroughly exciting.
Shan't be doing that again. Right. Mr. Moon, do you have a Profannasaurus for us?
I do indeed.
Well, would you like to roll it out and let's end this section on a reasonably, relatively high note?
You haven't heard it yet.
Oh, shit.
Finding the Joey in the pouch.
Oh, God.
An Australian version of that notorious bedroom game, The Hunt for the Pink Pearl, which all men have heard of, but sadly, few know where it is. Most only know it lies somewhere down under.
I thank you. Well, thank you very much for that, Jim. There you go. See, you rescued the news just from the brink there with that, I think.
Trevor McDonald would be proud.
And finally. Yeah. Oh, well, just in time for us to completely ruin it with a new entry into Ask William.
Hello, listeners. It's me again, Willem DaFoe, here to answer some of your problems and hopefully make you feel a bit better about your tiny little lives. Now, you'll have to excuse me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not exactly feeling all together. I was filming a Tic Tac commercial yesterday and I got one wedged up my fucking nose. I've been in A&E for the past 24 hours trying to retrieve this fucking Tic Tac from my fucking nasal cavity. So if I haven't been asleep. I've been on my toes since then. I'm starting to see things. I'll have you know. Anyway, I've got this letter from Chris Johnson this week, and Chris writes, he says, "Dear Willem DaFoe, my partner wants me to start wearing a full rubber gimp suit when we go to bed, but the mask makes me feel claustrophobic and I have a panic attack. I've told him I can't wear it, but he says if I don't, I have to sleep in the shed. I'm at my wit's end and I don't know what to do. So I really hope you can help me. Chris Johnson. Well, Chris, that's the thing with masks. I mean, sometimes they can be a bad thing in real life. I mean, take for instance when I was on the set of Spider-Man and in between takes, Tobey Maguire kept trying to lick my head. I turned to him and I said, Tobey, man, what are you doing? You're getting spittle all in my visor. And he just calmly looked me in the eye and he said, well, Willem, I've heard that licking certain toads can give you the ultimate high. I said, Toad? I'm a fucking goblin, man. Jesus Christ, I mean, how many toads do you know wear full battle armour? You crazy bastard. So, Chris, as you can see from that, as a good example, sometimes masks can be a bad thing, and I understand your feelings. I mean, you can tell your partner to go to hell and tell him to go sleep in the fucking shed. I mean, it does depend on who's paying the rent. I mean, because if it's his house, then, well, you're shit out of luck. So, what you may want to do, Chris, to strike a happy medium, is to learn a hobby like ventriloquism and, maybe pick up a funny voice to do the ventriloquism with. Because I'll tell you what, there's nothing more of a turn on than hearing the dulcet tones of Albert Steptoe while your lover's banging away at you from behind like a barn door in a tornado. Or maybe that's just me. I don't know. Try it, Chris. You may like it. Anyway, what I'll do in the meantime, I'll send you one of my leaflets. It's called Autoerotic Asphyxiation and Me. Well, that's all I've got time for this week, listeners. So, in the words of David Attenborough, what the fuck is that?
And thank you for that, Mr. DaFoe. Yes. Oh, the volume's better now. We're probably not blowing everyone's ears out. We are having all sorts of technical shenanigans over here at Blackdog Towers. So, if the volume changes, well, the volume's changed.
Deal with it.
Deal with it. Have a nice day. Right. And speaking of dealing with it and having a nice day, let's go to our rose-tinted specs, which is... No, not rose-tinted specs. They're 4 weeks of horror. What the fuck? It's a 5 weeks of horror. Oh, sweet. Jesus. Just run the fucking jingle. Okay, Wolf Creek, the movie.
Adapted from that well-known TV show.
From the concept album by some...
From that well-known creator.
Yeah, exactly. Wolf Creek, directed by Greg McLean, written by Greg McLean, starring John Jarrett, Cassandra McGrath, Kelsey Morassi, and Nathan Phillips. It was released in January 2005 at the Sundance Film Festival. Runs for 99 minutes, and the box office, it doesn't say the budget, but the box office was 27 million. The production. Wolf Creek was set in the real location. However, the actual meteorite crater location was called Wolf with an E Creek. Its location is in northern Australia as well. And it's the second largest meteor crater in the world. There you go. Wolf Creek, on the other hand, was filmed entirely in South Australia, though aerial shots of the crater were of the genuine crater. So it's all really interesting stuff so far. During the production, strange occurrences started happening during the film. In one particular location that was used during the shooting of the Traveller's Drive to Wolf Creek had not seen rainfall in 6 years. However, once the crew arrived and the shooting proceeded, it rained for 3 continuous days, forcing the writer, director and actors to incorporate a highly unexpected rainfall into the script. According to Greg McLean, the fact that it was raining and gloomy in an otherwise dry and sunny desert area gave the sequence a real feeling of menace, so he kept it in. Star Kelsey Marassi also mentioned that several odd occurrences during the audio commentary for the film, including the fact that there was a full moon on the first night of the shooting, and over a year later when the film premiered at Sundance, it was a full moon. Ooh.
Jesus Christ.
I'm going to go out on the limb and say there's not a lot in his production notes, to be honest. The rock quarry where Mick's mining site is located was the real-life site of a real-life murder. Which stirred up a lot of controversy from the local residents who mistook the film as being based on that crime. According to the director and others, John Jarratt went to extremes while preparing for his role as Mick the Killer, in a bid to emulate as close as possible the real-life serial killer Ivan Milat, or Milat. He spent a significant time alone, isolated out in the outback, and went for weeks without showering. The sign on the front gate of Mick's mining site reads Nathalim Mining Co., and Nathalim spelt backwards reads Milat Ivan, evidently referencing Ivan Milat. Since the film had a relatively low budget, many of the action scenes involved the real actors. For example, after running through the outback when her character escapes, star Kelsey Marassi ended up with hundreds of thorns and nettles in her feet. During the shooting of Marassi's torture scene in the end of the shed, her non-stop screams and crying began to discomfort and unsettle the crew. Executive producer Matt Haim said that the female members of the shooting crew were brought to tears by it, as if someone was actually being tortured. The film was all shot digitally on HD cam and was mostly handheld. Wolf Creek is marketed as being based on true events, though the closest to the actual events that this comes is the abduction of British tourist Peter Falconio and the assault of his girlfriend Joanne Lees in July 2001 by Bradley John Murdoch in the Northern Territories, which is cited as the direct influence. Murdoch's trial was still underway at the time of the film's initial release in Australia, and for this reason, the Northern Territory Court placed an injunction on the film's release in the belief that it could possibly influence the outcome of the proceedings. Many are misled into thinking the entire movie is based on a true story when its only influences from other murders around Australia, like the Ivan Milat backpackers murders and the Peter Falconio murder case. The reception was generally good. Peter Bradshaw in The Guardian gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Total Film and Empire also gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Empire calling it a grimy, grim gut chiller that unsettles as much as it thrills, violently shunting you to the edge of your seat before clamping onto your memory like a rusty man-trap. Whereas Fangoria, horror magazine du jour, called it the scariest film of the year. Rotten Tomatoes has Wolf Creek, however, sitting at 52% rotten based on 108 reviews. I'll leave it there and hand it over to you guys, because you guys obviously haven't seen this film before, whereas I have.
No.
So, shall we hand it to Jim first?
Yes, let Jim go first.
Okay, so Jim, what did you think of Wolf Creek?
Well, I have something of an embarrassing confession to start with.
You didn't watch it, did you?
No.
Okay.
I had actually seen this before. The trouble was, when I saw it, weirdly, it was called The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I'd seen it again, it was called The Hills of Eyes. And a fucking 1,000 other fucking movies that are better.
Nice.
I've got to say, I was very underwhelmed. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's quite well done, but really, it's kind of the acclaim and the reputation this film has is kind of, I'm sorry, this is weak stuff, really. Yeah. I know it's not particularly nice, but it's highly derivative, and all this based on true events is kind of, that's a smokescreen. A psycho murdered some people. Yeah, that's about as far as it goes, isn't it? Really. I mean, it started that they take time to build up the characters, which I thought was nice. Though I was thinking, get on with it. I'll be honest. And ultimately, that didn't really pay off, as they all were pretty much separated. And I can pinpoint the moment the movie lost me to the exact second. Mm-hmm. It's after she goes to rescue a friend, gets the rifle and shoots him in the neck. And then they faff about and dither on. And I was just thinking, look, kill him.
Mm.
Kill him.
Mm.
Or at least, tie him up.
Yeah.
It's not like, you're short of the equipment, if you know what I mean. It's kind of, I know, in these situations, there's always a certain amount of movie dumb. There's a lot of things that happen in a lot of movies, not just horror movies, where people do things that you go, oh, come on, no. Now, if it's done quickly, you can get away with it. But in this case, it was just it was so drawn out. It was just look, you've got ages here. You could have, sawed his head off, cut open his stomach, and sewed it in his gut cavity the time you've got. Yeah, it's just faffing about. And actually, I lost all sympathy for the characters because I thought, for fuck's sake, because what was particularly egregious, she does go to finish him off, but doesn't.
Yeah.
Just hits him a bit, and it's no. You make sure that fucker is dead. Or at least completely incapacitated. Yeah. And that's because the movie's playing by very real rules, and the fact they drew that scene out and they didn't take care of him when they could have, that really lost me, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it, for all it's really brutal and it's full of sickening violence. It's going, well, is my copy being really cut? Because there isn't really that much gore in it, and there isn't actually that much torture. It's just a standard slasher runabout in the outback, but just not very fun, frankly. Yeah. And the fact the guy disappears. We don't see him to the end, and then it's at the end. Oh, we locked him up for months, and didn't believe him. He was innocent. Oh, yeah, of course. He crucified himself, didn't he?
Yeah.
Fuck's sake. Fuck
easy.
off.
It's easy enough to do. You just, all you're doing is you're putting up some shelves with a nail gun, and next thing you know, it could happen to anyone, Jim. Don't judge.
Just nutted the last nail in with his forehead.
like a DIY narwhal.
It's I was just very underwhelmed. I'm having a real go at the movie, partly because I'm tired and grumpy. But I did feel this is just so. It's just so derivative. It hasn't really. It's well done, but it's not that well structured. To have me on the edge of my seat and a grueling horror experience, it was this is a by numbers experience. How the hell have built up this fearsome reputation for it? I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I think the violence is sickening and brutally in this. Watch one of the old Friday the 13th movies. You see Jason punch a man's head clean off his shoulders and you'll shit your spine out. Come on. Try Hellraiser, with men pulled about with chains. This is weak-ass shit. I'm sorry, it really is. I know it's not nice, and it's really sort of grimy and skeevy, but there isn't anything really that shocking in it.
No.
In the main, I think.
No. So overall, pretty underwhelming from the Jim Moon camp.
Very much so, I'm afraid. Very much so.
Okie dokie. So moving on to the Mr. Barnard camp. How are we doing? Well, okay. That's it.
It was a bit like, to begin with, it's a bit like a travel log for one of those fucking holiday programs. This is Australia. Come and see the sights.
Come and say good day.
It takes around about an hour before the film actually gets going. Attack of the Stupid isn't the fucking words for this. As Jim's rightly pointed out, the whole thing of if you're not going to kill him, fucking tie the gun up. Don't just tap him lightly on the back with the rifle and then walk off. It's like, what the fuck was that going to do? You get the butt of it and you stick it right in his freaking head. That's what you do.
Darren, were you screaming at the TV like me? Kill him! Not a court in a land will convict you.
Yeah. No, well, I was screaming quite a bit at the time at the television. Okay, right, we've now just escaped from this farm, okay, or whatever it is, right? Okay, we're in the truck. Oops, we're in the truck and we're getting out of here, right? We're driving along. Oh, look, he's following us. So what do? I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll stop at the edge of this cliff here, we'll get out of the car and we'll push the fucking truck over the edge and then we'll just hang there. And we'll wait for him to discover that we're not actually in the truck and then walk all the way back because, well, we need a vehicle. You stupid pair of fucking twats. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ almighty. It's ridiculously stupid. It really is fucking stupid. It's just fucking 90 minutes of stupid people doing stupid fucking shit. It's just, it took too long to get to where it needed to be. And then after that, it was just stupid. It was just stupid. It should have been called Stupid Creek.
I'd rather went to Emu Creek.
That's it. Yeah, stupid people up shit creek without a fucking paddle. It was just ridiculous. And I mean, and of course, what you do is while the serial killer, right, is down below checking out the truck, what you do is you scream loudly, "Oh fuck," because no keys are in the ignition, and so you actually say that quite loudly so he could possibly hear you.
Yeah.
Right. And the amazing thing is, right, this bloke who can shoot the fucking gnat's hairs off of a gnat from 200 yards away couldn't see them walking across this great big open field back to his place.
No.
You see, because he obviously spent about 2.5 hours looking around the same bit of wreckage for the bodies, which he suddenly realised weren't there.
No.
It's, just fuck off. It's another fuck off film. I'm putting it up there with fucking Room 237. Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Look, as I say, if you don't want to kill him, tie the fucker up. And then once you've tied him up, disable the rest of his vehicles, get in the one that's working, and then fuck off. Or at least have a look around and see if you can find the guy that's hung up crucified out back, tenderizing on the crucifix.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So
it is. It's just, it was boring. It really wasn't anything that it was cracked up to be. And what's the name of the lead actress in it? The one that was stuck in the shed to begin with, and then she escaped through the window.
What's her face? Oh, what's the
actress's name?
I don't know. I'll have to look it up again.
Okay, well, Keira Knightley or If Wet, her.
Keira Knightley. Yeah, as long as she's got a chin and a bob.
Oh, she had a chin. She had more chin than I think people knew what to do with. It was a bigger star than she was. So, yeah.
Okay. So
stupid film. Stupid.
Okay.
And once again, stupid.
I'll be honest with you, right? When I had seen it. I had seen it before.
Yeah.
I'd seen it twice actually. The first time I watched it, and I think that's why I kind of was expecting to have more of an impact than it was I think, as I put on like Facebook, it's not the film to watch when you're going out the next night to go to Ayers Rock. All right, it's just not. Okay, that we went out there. There's a hotel just not far from Ayers Rock, and it's like the only place. And we went there, and basically, yeah, it was the film that was on telly. That's handy.
Oh right,
It's a bit like watching an air disaster movie while on a plane.
So it was Wolf Creek. It was double bill, Wolf Creek and Picnic at Hanging Rock.
Yeah,
there we go.
Exactly. Yeah, with Crocodile Dundee, just to sort of sweeten the deal in between. No, so and Walkabout as well. Razorback. So for me, it had a bit more of an impact the first time I watched it. The second time I watched it was because there was like a horror triple bill Fright Fest thing on E4.
Yeah.
So it was that, followed by the remake of The Hills Have Eyes, which is actually very good. We should do that at some point. And then there was the what was the other one? Creep. The thing in the in the tube.
Yeah, that I didn't think that was too bad a movie. That was quite sort of.
Yeah, that was a kind of Descent meets the Circle Line.
That was
But anyway, so for me again, it was kind of like it was a triple bill that was quite enjoyable because it went from one to the other, and it kind of got gradually better as it went along.
Yeah.
But this time round, I watched it. And I was watching what was going on in your Facebook wall as well. And everyone was just like, oh, sick filth, sick, terrible film.
No.
I couldn't watch it. And I'm sitting there thinking, no, I'm not feeling it. And as soon as I started to think like that, yeah, as soon as I started to think of it like that, I started to get that same feeling, which, okay, I'm going to get absolutely harangued for this, but I had with Psycho, which is that because I came at Psycho from such a late time in my life,
yeah,
when we did it for this cast, that it had unfortunately been overrun by all the films it had influenced. So I'd seen everything. I knew all the tropes. I knew everything that was coming before it actually happened. And then this time round, the same thing. I just sat there going, pretty much all the way through. And it's like, yeah, that's Texas Chainsaw Massacre when they pick up the hitchhiker. That's the hitcher. That's, that's Psycho because the guy looks friendly. He's not. We've been misled into thinking this girl's the hero. She's not. Yeah, all these other things. And then there's all the kind of like, as you say, picnic in Hanging Rock, sort of beautiful wilderness that's out to kill you kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I just sat there watching it going, well, yeah, something's going to happen in a minute. I'm sure something's going to happen in a minute. Something's going to happen in a minute. Something. And the film felt like it was over about 10 seconds after not Keira Knightley climbed out the shed window. Because he did. Because it's like he wasn't stomping to get her. There was no tension there. He didn't know she was there. She blew up her own car, which was a bit stupid. And then after that, it was just like I just sat there thinking, yeah, this should have turned out a whole heap different. And yeah, I don't know. It was just the fact that Mick can shoot across entire state continents. He's just got and shoot an old man in the head.
No, in the eye.
In the eye.
He got him in the eye.
Yeah, got him in the eye. Yeah, and I don't know. The whole film felt like
stupid.
Yeah, it did feel stupid. It just felt very, very dumb. And in the end, I kind of felt like a bit of a fraud because I thought, well, I've seen this twice and it affected me both times, but probably for different reasons each time.
Yeah.
And then I'm selling it to you guys like last week, going, oh, here we go. And I tell you what it reminded me of?
What?
Back in the sort of very early 80s, right? Obviously, The Shining had just come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dad had his video player, and he was like, oh, yeah, so we're going to watch a scary movie and all this kind of thing. Once he realised that I'd watch these horror movies, and there was, like, we'd have friends around, and we'd all watch these films. And we watched, and we were, The Shining had just come out, but my dad, being the silly, illiterate that he is, went and got another film. And he came in and he's giving it all Saturday afternoon. We're eating our chips and he's got this tape just sitting there on the table and he's going, oh, Jack, look, Jack, he's coming to get you, Jack, sort of thing, winding us all up. And we're all thinking it's The Shining. And then what happens? He put it on. There's like two families all sitting around waiting to be scared, and it was The Postman Always Rings Twice.
Oh, for
so
God's sake.
So Jack turns up and he's kind of smiley, eyebrows Jack, and then next thing you know, he's shagging Jessica, what's her name, up the arse.
He's ball deep.
He's ball deep. Well, he's balls
grimacing like some fucking visage of death,
like a lion. Exactly. It's like a lion tucking into a tyre. I mean, and he was doing it again and again. And meanwhile, Baltar was standing outside the window watching what was going on. I didn't quite understand it. And, exactly. So we were expecting The Shining. What we got was Jack Nicholson.
Was the shagging?
Yeah, with the shagging with old 70s Baltar knocking his rocks off in the corner. So that's how I felt about Wolf Creek this time. I felt like I'd kind of sold it a little heavy based on experiences that I wasn't entirely worthy of sharing.
So did you turn to your dad and go, Dad, so at what point does The Shining come into this?
Well, no, we didn't even know it was called The Shining, did we? We just knew that
the
it was...
only Shining I can see is her
no,
polishing his helmet.
Yeah. Old Jessica Lange with her... Or was it Jessica Lange? Oh.
No, she's the one who's driving Daisy.
Oh, God, okay.
Ooh, sexy octogenarian.
Yeah. Where are we going to go, mister? Is it right up the arse?
You're going to drive me crazy.
Oh, so yeah, I'm afraid I kind of feel like I oversold it. I did exactly like my dad. I oversold something that I wasn't really aware of what I had, and unlike my dad though, I just kind of sat there thinking, oh shit. Whereas my dad's going, any second now, he's going to be smacking that axe through the door.
I'm thinking when he has dead through a back door.
Yeah, he was smashing that. When's the postman going to drop off a delivery, Dad?
I think he's about to fire off a delivery right now.
Jessica Lange. Who was Jessica Lange?
Can you sign for this?
Yeah, hot off the press.
I'll just leave this round the back.
Under the mat.
Behind the bins.
Yeah, behind the bins. So there you go. Yeah, so by the end of this last night, I felt like I'd kind of... I'd obviously watched a different film, or my brain was tricking me, because it was the most boring...
Yep.
Well, as you say, boring and stupid and uninspired thing I've watched in a very long time.
It was kind of, you know, Wish You Were Here with Judith Chalmers goes a bit pear-shaped.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, and the moment, like you say, the moment she shoots him in the ear and he falls over,
yeah,
is like, well, there you go. That's it. Film's over. Time to go. And I thought that was it. I didn't, and the fact they didn't even look for the other bloke.
Yeah.
I just thought
he's fucked off.
Yeah, he's fucked off. Oh, they fucked off. Oh well, all right then. So yeah, utterly underwhelming in the end, which is a bit of a shame, really.
Yeah. Stupid.
It was a very stupid film.
Stupid.
Stupid film with stupid characters doing stupid things.
Yep.
I mean, let's be honest. You know. The bit which you say, the bit when they push the car over the cliff.
It's like he's still a good 5 minutes away.
Mm.
You know, fine, just drive along the edge of the cliff and find the fucking road.
What I didn't quite understand, was if they'd managed to get in the car, he'd managed to shoot both of his barrels off. Yeah,
we're back to the postman. Or
no, again. No, you didn't give him both face. It didn't give him a shot in the face. No, and basically. They run him over in his own truck, with his own shed.
You can see why he'd be a bit miffed.
Yeah. But then, why didn't they try and do that again? Because he went down somewhere and he was stuck. So then they reverse back up and go for it again.
Did it a few times, then once more, but then wheel spin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Or, yeah, I didn't quite understand why they were so fucking dumb.
Because they were born that way.
Because it was required.
Yep.
Because it was required. Yeah. So anyway, overall, I think this is a big thumbs down, isn't it?
Yeah, just a bit.
Yep. Okay. We give this film the finger. Right. Okay. Well, I guess it's time to move on to feedback in this clusterfuck of a podcast this week.
Time to look at some of your pictures in the gallery.
I've got to put them all on the iPad.
Have you?
Yeah. And now it's time for your mail.
Oh, I nearly forgot. You're male.
Yes, I am, and I can prove it. Do you hear? Prove it.
There you go. Lovely. Subtle as a brick through a window.
Dick.
Oh, you cunt.
May the benevolence of the god Shivu bring blessings on your house and on yours. And may his wisdom bring success in all your undertakings and in yours. And may his radiance light up your life and up yours.
As you can hear, ladies and gentlemen, the just to really add shit sauce onto the crap cake that is this podcast this week, Darren's got hold of the soundboard again and plugged it into the fucking sound card. Right. Let's try and keep to the format at least. Jesus. Right, I've got a piece of feedback first. It's from Gareth Lloyd. You're not going to press a button, are you? Oh, right, okay. I think we normally sing, but you know what? Lloyd. Gareth Lloyd.
No, this is shit.
Just fucking turn it off. Twat. I'm going to fucking hit that thing with a hammer.
Hey, you gave me the lead to plug it into the phone.
I know.
It's your fault.
I should have made it live and then plugged it into your head. Right, okay. So, at the 6-hour mark, here's the feedback.
Hold on. I'm just giving up a noise.
Gareth writes, hello Lee, Darren and Jim. Now I hadn't seen Wolf Creek before, though I'd heard about it a lot and about how intense and scary it was from friends. And so I was looking forward to it, but you know what? I found it really dull. The start feels like an episode of Home and Away, and while there are lovely shots of the Australian landscape, by the time you've seen the umpteenth sunrise and sunset of wide open fields, it all gets a bit samey. Now, by the time Mick turns up, it's so obvious that he's a bad egg that there's no real surprise or sense of threat, and the torture stuff is nasty, but as I didn't engage with the characters, it was all a bit uninvolving, and the car chase just seemed to be shots lifted from Mad Max films. So, I have to say this film didn't work for me, and I won't be rushing to catch it again. Sorry, chaps. Hope the others enjoyed it more than me. Gareth. Thank you very much for that, Gareth.
I should save the wah for the end of that. You shouldn't.
No, that's cool. That's cool. So, Jim, you have some feedback, sir?
Yes, I do.
Okie dokie.
And it's from Mr. Matt Jones.
Ah.
And he writes, "Good day to you, Lee, Darren and Jim.
Yay.
Well, it's been the week 4 of our horror month, and time for me to face Wolf Creek. I'd seen this film before a few years back on late night TV, and for some reason it gave me nightmares, which never happens with horror films. Maybe it was the fact it was supposedly based on true events, or I was a bit overtired, or maybe it's just a really effective film. I'd forgotten most of the plot details, so I was up for giving it another spin, even though it had spooked me a bit the last time. The film starts out fairly slow-paced, with the first half an hour consisting of us getting to know the 3 protagonists on a road trip across Australia. There are plenty of improvised scenes that work well, due to the threesome giving very natural performances. It's when the mysterious Mick Taylor, played brilliantly by John Jarratt, appears that things really start to kick off. I enjoyed the campfire scene, where the seemingly friendly Mick gives a few hints as to his true personality and intentions, especially his "I could tell ya, but then I'd have to kill ya" line. After drinking Mick's rainwater from the top end, they all awake separately, bound and gagged, but it's mainly Liz who we follow from now, believing her to be the traditional end girl typical of the slasher genre. She proceeds to rescue her friend Kirsty quite cleverly at first, and I was generally surprised when she actually managed to shoot Mick, which I'd forgotten. Their plan to push the truck off the cliff was pretty stupid, though, leaving them with no other option but to return to Mick's camp. That said, there were a couple of very tense sequences with Liz retrieving Mick's car keys and hiding them on the cliff. The exposition that we learn from Liz's viewing the camcorders she finds is a bit contrived, and it's rather foolish she hangs around so long. But there's a neat twist when we realise that Mick was following the trio long before he turned up to supposedly rescue them. Ultimately, this leads to her demise, and we next follow Kirsty. But just when it looks like she's going to be saved, Mick strikes again and ruthlessly kills her in cold blood. Finally, Ben, who we've not seen for a while, bloody ages actually, sorry, that was my aside, manages to get free from his crucifix and escape in what is probably the most gruesome scene of the film. In the last shot, we see that Mick is still at large, walking off into the sunset like a force of nature. This was a good twist on the usual slasher ending, where the lead actress managed to overcome the killer and be the only survivor. So, overall, from a bit of stupidity on Liz's part, I enjoyed this rewatch. And while tense, it wasn't as scary as I remembered. John Jarrett is excellent in his very memorable role. His laugh alone is pretty creepy. And it's surprisingly well shot for a low-budget directorial debut. Best of all, though, I didn't have nightmares this time. Hooray! Cheers, folks. Matt.
Hooray! Thank you very much for that, Matt.
I think he actually liked that. There you go.
How long have you been waiting on that sound effect?
Since the start of his feedback.
So you were gambling on him actually getting good feedback.
Well, actually, I've even got the wah wah, or we've got the surprise.
Oh right, okay, fair enough. Well, yeah. So thank you for that, Matt. And well, I don't know. I like it. Like I say, I know what he means, but I because I felt it myself. But this time round just blew donkeys.
That's another thing that's reminded me of another stupid thing in the fucking movie.
Go on.
You know, if you're being chased by a serial killer, of course you've got time to stand around looking at fucking films.
Oh, yeah,
You know, this is it, you know.
Yeah, have a little run through a few of them.
Exactly. Would you like to watch a box set? How about that, you know?
She's upstairs watching Breaking Bad.
Yeah, there you are.
Hold on.
You got plenty of time, don't worry.
I got to find out what happens to Eisenberg. Don't kill me. All right. Okay. Well, the next piece of feedback is from Jack P. Starrow, our man from down under, the otter puncher in the damp night himself. So, let's hear what Jack has to say. And you'll have to forgive my attempt at an Australian accent here. Dear Dazza, Lee the Galah, and the fucking Jimbo. Well, struth, mates, I couldn't let the first Aussie movie since I've been listening pass without comment. Infamously scary horror flick or not. I'm going to leave it there. Because otherwise it's going to end up going to Wales via Pakistan.
I think you should just read it out using a very posh, sort of like, you know, Southern Counties accent.
Why, hello. So what did I think of this notorious homegrown classic that we've assiduously avoided to date?
That's it, do no coward.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, it was very Australian.
Yes, it was pretty fucking good. I must confess that I didn't find it as ball-retractingly terrifying or as disturbing as expected, but I think that's probably a combination of the onward march of torture horror in the interim and the flick's reputation being so overshadowing, my own pussified trepidation overblowing my preconceptions, and the subsequent decision to kind of emotionally detach a little while watching it. All that, plus the fact that having lived through the coverage and post-mortems of the real Ivan Milat, that's pronounced Mill-at, by the way, and Falconio cases that this is loosely, in capitals, based on, seeing it fictionalized isn't quite as scary as the real thing. I mean, TISM even did a dark comedy song about a documentary maker living next to the Milat family and losing his mind, for Christ's sake. I think there's a comedy troupe that we don't know over here.
Yeah.
I think this film is very well made, and I suspect the reason it had such an impact at the time is that it is pretty intense, very similitude for the most part. Okay, fine. Yes, Jack, you've scored the triple word score this week. Even aside from the cheap cash-in hook or claiming that it's based on true events, the film feels plausible and realistic for much of its runtime. And I credit a lot of that down to the 3 young Aussie actors playing the 2 Pommy Birds and the Sydney boy, who all delivered superbly naturalistic performances with what seemed like largely improvised dialogue. Is that a very polite way of saying they didn't have a script and it was shit?
Yeah.
They did well considering, bless them. They all came last, but that's all right. And of course, John Jarratt as Mick is just a fucking legend. He is rightly fated for his performance as a genuinely memorable villain, and I think what makes him all the more chilling is that you don't get the expected turn from jovial Okabushi to scary stone killer. He plays the killer side with exactly the same larking cheer as he did before, just as in a horrific new context. I wasn't aware before watching it that they would make direct references to Mick Dundee, which kind of a little irked by, and I felt a little irked by, and felt was pandering to the foreign audiences. But I guess they've got a movie to sell to fucking Americans who still think that bloody film is their go-to reference for Australia. Plus, it did have a suitably gruesome payoff with "That's not a knife" groaner. That said, another angle I'm glad they touched on was the disjunction between the urban trendy bogan lad from Sydney being confronted with a proper outback Aussie blokes, and how to us they can feel almost as foreign and stereotypical as they probably do to you Poms. After all, despite our outdoorsy reputation, Australia does have one of the most heavily urbanised populations per capita in the world, so most of us are about as far from Mick as you pasty-faced drongos. What is this? It's just like he's going for every single one of the Australian phrase book, is he?
I think yeah.
Stereotypical phrase book.
Carry on. I just need Galar, and I'm going to shout bingo.
Well, no, we had that right at the beginning.
We
had Galar. You lead a Galar in fucking Jimbo. Anyway, sorry. I thought the film was beautifully shot and scored, and rather ironically made me yearn to go on another outback trip in God's own country, and it felt very true, right down to using accurate native birdsong in the Foley mix. It was only towards the climax of the first girl's story that the film started to disappoint me, when it felt like genre cliches were beginning to rear their ugly heads. I liked that she had no idea how to use a gun, and then she takes it far too long in becoming morbidly engrossed in his trophy room with the silent exposition that he's a mass serial killer, and him popping back into the car seat just as she happens to choose was lame and rote. A real break in the otherwise plausible story for me. Fortunately, it picked up with Girl 2's climax, which was pretty tense and awful, and the boy's escape was a little anticlimactic, but it worked okay. Anyway, lads, cheers for getting me to nut up and see the local classic. It was certainly worth the burl. Jack's tips. For anyone interested in seeing Girl 2 play a dominatrix, check out the middling Aussie series called Satisfaction. It has oodles of nudity, although not from her. And for anyone wanting to see a major Aussie classic about a limey city man going through the ringer with a trigger-happy, hard-drinking bushies, check out 1971's superb Waking Fright, including Donald Pleasance with a legendary Chips Rafferty and Jack Thompson. It's not a horror movie, but it's a masterwork of unsettling filmmaking all the same, and considered a seminal new wave film. Cheers, dears. Stick it in your ears, Jacko.
Right, I think that was a...
It was indeed a warrant. So well done. Thank you very much for that, Jack. And, glad to see you liked it, sir. Because, I was a bit worried you were going to come back and say, "What the fuck? You've ruined our fucking outback, you bastards." Anyway, sorry. Anyway, so yes. So that's one for the Australian Tourist Board right there.
Yes, that is.
Cool. Thank you very much for that, Jack. And, Jim, it's over to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Next up, we have Mr. Pete Hammond.
Let's talk slowly, because if you say it too much, he might crash another car. We can't afford this kind of insurance claim, Jim.
Yeah, he'll just crash a car more slowly if you speak slow.
We should have a little warning. Pete, please be aware your feedback is about to be read out by Jim Moon. Please pull over to the side of the road. Yep. But anyway, go on, carry on, Jim.
And he writes with the subject line, head on a stick? That's not a head on a stick. Disclaimer, this review is just for the film. I'm not taking into account the events that, quote, inspired the movie, just the movie itself.
Mm-hmm.
I first saw Wolf Creek when it was released on DVD. I had heard a lot about it and was looking forward to a good chunk of gory Ozploitation horror. So, when I saw it was on DVD, I bought it immediately. Oh my God, what a film. I don't think I've ever been so bored in all my life. For a start, I didn't care about any of the main characters. I believe the term is ball aches. I, and now my wife, both sat there incredulous at some of the decisions made by the girls, especially the bit with the broken down car at night. I know people aren't allowed to act rationally in horror movies, but come on. And on repeated viewing, my opinion didn't change. Maybe I'm immune to horror these days, but I just found it dull. It wasn't creepy enough, it wasn't scary at all, and it certainly wasn't what I call gory. Head on a stick, just get on with it, man. And yes, I know it is inspired by real-life events, but at the end, the impression we got was the guy that killed them all and made the whole thing up to escape charges. So I'm guessing it's back to the bunker for me. Bring on Poltergeist. All together now. God is in his holy temple. Pete.
Thank you very much for that, Pete. And actually,
there you go.
Pull out another one. Get a different one.
A different one? What, like? I don't know.
Oh. There you go. Thank you very much for that, Pete. And don't worry, the Bunker is Shun is not necessary this week because I think everyone's in it apart from Jack and Matt. In fact, yeah. See, it's no good if the jail keepers are actually inside the jail without the keys. We'd all be in there at the moment.
Yeah.
So, right. Well, our last piece of written feedback is from Martin Thompson. I know you've got one, Jim, but I'm just saying on this side is from Martin Thompson, and his is titled. Get ready with a swoop for this one. It's called Up Shit Creek. There you go. And Martin writes, "Good day, Lee, Jim, and Darren. I hadn't seen Wolf Creek before, and I'm not really sure what I was expecting, but it wasn't as gruesome as I thought it'd be. The central three characters didn't make much of an impression on me, and I think the girls' accents were a bit off. Liz, at least. It went along at a decent enough pace, but I had to wonder why neither of the girls went to look for Ben, or he went to look for them when he escaped. Then again, nobody knows what they were doing in such an extreme situation. Watching it, and knowing it was based on a true story, I thought that Liz must have survived because we see so much from her point of view. In fact, between the campfire scene and Ben waking up, we know almost nothing for certain, so it must all be just conjecture. I'm not saying that the facts have to be adhered to in a movie such as this, but movies have always played fast and loose with them. But there really wasn't much to go on here. I suppose that wouldn't have made a very good movie though, unless they covered Ben's trial. Mick the Killer was really well played, although he's reaching invincible killer status by the end. The final shot of him walking off into the sunset free as a bird was wonderfully chilling too. All in all, I enjoyed it. Cheers, Martin.
Wow.
There you go. See? I mean, the one thing I would say, which is the only thing I would say in this film's defence at the moment, is that yes, the guy who plays Mick, Jarrett, he's is it Jack Jarrett? Anyway, yeah, I thought he did a really good job because he is that kind of not quite sure what you're dealing with, crazy.
Well, have you? Did you actually watch the interview that's on the disc? with him. He's a very quiet man. He's not. He's not anything like the character he portrays there. He's quite sort of withdrawn type of guy. But there is that kind of. You look at him, you think, Are you actually going to be the serial killer? Yeah. Or are you just going to be some bloke that gets bumped off? Yeah, you look when the serial killer starts going. You look a bit like my granddad, sort of. Yeah. Anyway, so thank you very much for that, Martin. And Jim, do you have one last piece of written feedback?
I do. Okay. From Mr. Elton McManus of the Manor Shonky Lab.
Ah, our man from the lab. What does he have
to say?
And
he writes, "Hello, my loves. Wolf Creek wasn't too bad. It was a tad slow getting to the main subject, but I guess you needed that so you could try and invest in the characters. At points, it seemed to be a bit of a dumb slasher movie, but it had nice points. For instance, when the lady with the British accent, sorry I can't remember and don't care to remember their names, had the rifle and shot the guy. I was saying to myself, just shoot him in the head. She tried to. She had no bloody bullets, but she tried to. After that, it was all a bit of a stodgy blur. Then the flaming galah went and started sniping people out of the game. Well, that's just not cricket. Shame on you, sir. Shame on you."
He's a serial killer. He's not playing by the rules, Elton.
He's a maverick. If those desk jockeys up at City Hall don't like it,
they're going to have his badge. Oh, God. Is that it?
Yes.
Oh, that's it. Oh, right. Okay. Sorry, I was waiting.
I was looking for more, but there isn't. That is it.
Did he just fall asleep in the middle of the typing? Well, thanks for that, Elton.
Cheers, Elton.
And if you want to hear more pithy insights like that, go to the shonkeylab.co.uk, which you can also find on iTunes. Or is he still witnessing for the defence with you, sir?
He is indeed.
Okay, well there you go. That's all you need to know, really. Sorry,
just that.
Right, okay. Well, I guess it's on to our MP3 feedback, and our first piece of feedback is from Mr. Ollie Sixclawpaw Peters. There you go. No sound effect for him.
No. Didn't he ask for him?
I don't know. Can't hear you on the microphone, mate.
Nope. Can you hear me? Okay.
Now you can. There you go.
There we go. Yes.
There you go.
Didn't he ask for the sound effect?
Yeah, I think he probably did.
Shall I put it back on there?
Go on then.
Okay, fine. I'll just
play it. Just play the bloody.
You would just play it down the mic.
Just play it down the mic.
Okay.
Play it down the mic.
I'll play it down the mic. I will play it down the mic. I'm just loading up the thing now.
Can't hear you. You're not talking into the cock shape.
I am talking into the cock shape.
There you go.
In fact, why don't I move the cock shape a bit closer to my lips? So
I'm
kissing the end of the cock shape.
Kiss the cock.
Yes, I know Ollie will be pleased that I'm doing that. But there you are.
Okay.
There we go. So
what happens on the shindig stays on the shindig by the sound of it.
It does.
Go on in.
Right, it's turning up.
Go on. There you go. Do him a sound effect. So it's Ollie Peters. I get the feeling that was probably the most underwhelming run up to a underwhelming soundtrack ever. Oh God! Stop it! Let's just play Ollie's feedback.
Do it then.
Yes.
Hey dudes. Thought I'd do a bit of audio feedback for this week's movie. What was it? Wolf Creek. I hadn't seen this before, and I thought, I didn't really know what to think. I listened to what people were saying about it. Some people saying, it's the worst thing they've ever seen, and other people saying, it's a bit crap, really. And so I didn't really know what to think. So I started watching it, and I was a bit, do I really want to watch this? But fuck it, I'm on my own. It's late at night, the missus ain't coming to come home. I've got my machete next to me, all the doors are locked. Let's get into this shit. And first off, straight away, the guy's a bit of a cock, isn't he? I don't know what his name is, I don't really care. And I would have just offed him straight away. Fuck it. he's dead. 2 girls, they were alright, I didn't really have a problem with them, but I feel with films like this, you need to invest into liking the victims. You need to give them a purpose for, we need to save these guys, and I don't get it. It's the same as Red State. 3 victims in that, I just didn't give a shit, and I just didn't care. But first off, I wouldn't have brought a shit Ford. I'm a fan of Fords, I've had a few, but the piece of shit that you brought to drive across the fucking country with, no. And being a dick to the mechanic, bang, shot him fucking dead. It was alright. My guy that I liked the most in this was Uncle Mick, or Uncle Mike. It just made me laugh. I know it's supposed to be based on a true story and the things that happened, terrible, yeah. But I just thought this was a comedy. I was laughing most of the way through it. There's some of the stuff he'd come out with, and I just didn't really. There was no jumpy moments in it at all. You know, I never really got the feeling that I was watching a horror movie. I mean, the were bits and bobs, like the when he took out the girl's spine, I thought, oh, that's gonna smart, and I thought, the guy getting shot in the head, I thought that was brilliant. As soon as the bullet went through the flask, I was just like, dude, seriously, just run, just go, get out of there. But I was quite surprised that he took her out there and then on the road. I thought he was at least going to drag her back to back to his little camp and do whatever, but nothing really happened there. Matey boy wakes up crucified. Fucking dog's barking at him, and he looks at that other body, and I was like, whoa, this shit's going to happen here. But he gets out, and I thought, whoa, he's going to set the dogs on him, like he turned up in the back of the car with the other bird. No, he just gets away. And I was like, okay. I kind of feel like I was just waiting for something to happen. I'm not a big fan of stuff like that, but I think it was the preconception of going into this film that something was going to be horrible. And I've seen worse stuff in films. I mean, fucking Aliens and Predators, stuff like that, has got worse scenes in it and make you go, ooh, but this kind of, it didn't really. I liked it. As I said, Uncle Mick was probably the reason to watch it. I thought he was hilarious. That's not a knife. This is a knife. And I just, yeah, it was okay. I'd probably watch it again. I'd probably try and get the missus to watch it, because I was talking to her about it and sort of said, well, I don't know if I want to watch it. So, well, if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. Don't be pushing into it. I said, no, Lee's making me watch it. But I'd probably recommend it to. It's not as bad a horror as some other movies I've heard. So I'd say watch it. It's all right. So yeah, till I don't think there was anything else. Dude gets off. Girls get. I did like, yeah, that the girls were kind of the ones that fought back. Probably because they were the ones having the shit done to him, but Matey boy just releases himself and wanders off into the wilderness. Really wish he would have been done for. That's kind of frustrating, but never mind. So, till next week, dudes. Toodly bip.
Big dick.
Ah, there you go. Thank you very much for that, Ollie. Oh dear. He seemed fairly underwhelmed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although, unlike us, he'd probably sit and watch it again.
Yeah. That's just weird. But anyway, okay, well, there you go, Ollie, and well done for making it this far on the 4 weeks of horror so far. I know it's 5.
Congratulations, sir.
Yes. Yeah. All I can say is we'll obviously, now you've done level 1, year 5 of this will be level 2.
Yeah.
We'll up the game next year.
Yeah, he might actually watch Watcher in the Woods. So
well, there you go. Watcher in the Woods. What, the Disney one? I just realised what you were talking about. Fuck off.
But I'm just thinking that he's not a really big horror fan because it kind of works on him. So just ease him in.
Okay, we'll move up to Cat from Outer Space, shall we?
Batman
Escape
and
from
Scooby
Witch
Doo.
Mountain.
Escape from Witch Mountain. That's the one. That's it. Fucking hell. Right. Okay. Moving on. Well, thank you very much for that, Ollie. I hope that tumble dryer stops soon because you get really dizzy if you're sitting in that for too long. Now let's move on to our last piece of MP3 feedback, which is John Campion, and let's hear what John has to say about Wolf Creek.
Hello, Jim Lee and Darren. Wolf Creek, then. Is this a good film? Yeah, I don't know. It's certainly not an enjoyable film. Although there is undoubtedly horror here. It's a sort of voyeuristic, pitiless sadism, especially on a rewatch where you know that essentially there's no hope for the characters. Sorry for the spoilers, folks. There's also a disturbing edge to the way the film lingers, in particular over the suffering of the female characters, I think. Which isn't to say that disturbing films and films that are hard to watch can't be good. Michael Haneke's Funny Games is very disturbing and difficult to watch. But the difference, I think, is that you've the feeling that Haneke is trying to do something with that, whereas I just don't get that from Wolf Creek at all. The interesting parts of the film, I think, there are a couple of things. Maybe the filmmakers are trying to say that mixed misogyny is part of a continuum in the culture. And that kind of escalates from the leering car salesman at the beginning of the film to the drinkers in the petrol station, and then Mick himself, of course. You've also the fact that Mick is, of all of them, the one who appears most pleasant initially. I don't know if you can take anything from that, but it's there in the film. I think the other thing is the danger and remorselessness of Mick is echoed by the landscape. You get the sense that the environment is pitiless and unforgiving as well, especially at the end of the film during Ben's escape. You get the scene where Mick's silhouette fades into the landscape as well, which perhaps suggests that in some way he's part of that, or that it's formed him that way. I don't know. So yeah, I'm not anxious to see this one again. I don't know if it's a good film. It's not a particularly easy film to watch, and I don't think that there's all that much of a payoff for the horror that you put through watching it. And I think that's the problem. It is just nasty, pitiless sadism, and that's all you get. So, bit of a change of gear from Carry On Screaming for sure. And to be honest, I want to watch, I don't know, Wolf Creek, in which people get abducted and delighted by whimsical contraptions put together by an 80s ginger inventor. That'd be nice. Okay, cheers guys.
Thank you very much for that, John.
That sounds like a cracking idea for a film.
Wolf Creek. Oh, Heinz Wolf Creek.
Heinz Wolf Creek, yeah.
The Great Egg Race.
So you're putting the egg on the wheels?
Yes, you put the egg on the rubber band and it propels it along this track. See? Yeah. Thank you very much for that, John. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's the symbolism of Mick being part of the landscape, and you know, but yeah, I think the whole sadism angle, I think you're absolutely right. It has a certain sadism to it, but then, you know, as said before, it's like, is it really as bad as, I don't know, half the films that are kind of doing the rounds nowadays? I think it's
not half as bad as the films that were doing the rounds when this came out.
No. I mean,
if you look at like the French horrors that were coming out at the same time, like Interieur, Martyrs, and Haute Tension.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean,
Jesus.
now they are grueling and bloody.
Yeah. What's the other one? Switchblade Romance?
That's Hot Tension under a different name.
That's right. Yeah, sorry.
It goes into it's Hot Tension, High Tension, Switchblade Romance, just to be confusing.
Yeah. That was quite a film. That's a different strata, I think, of grim. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's clear that this is not a winner, but it is obviously quite a palate cleanser after Carry On Screaming.
Just a bit.
Yeah. Right, okay, well, we'll wrap it up there, I guess. So it's time to move on to our next film. Thank you to everyone who sent in feedback this week, and to everyone who's got this far listening to this absolute shambles of a podcast this week, thanks to massive amounts of technical issues. So, let's move on to the next film. The next film and the last of our horror this season, well, at least till we just do a random horror film, is a Steven Spielberg Tobe Hoop. Is it Tobe or Toby?
It's Toby, apparently.
Yeah, because I always read it as Tobe.
So, as did many others, including me. Toby? No, yeah. Tobe. Tobe sounds meaner.
Yes, exactly. Toby Hooper, classic Poltergeist. Now, this was a film where Spielberg was supposedly just the producer, but, as we'll discover next week, rumour has it that he did a little bit more than that. He sort of took the reins and kicked the director off, but, we'll talk about that more next week. So, before we leave, let's just do a quick roundup. What's everyone's abiding memories of Poltergeist, and what do you think whether or not you're going to like it this time round? I'll start with Darren this time.
Well, I'll be totally honest. I think I've actually seen this film, but it's been such a long while I can't quite remember.
You genuinely don't remember seeing this film?
No, I'm pretty sure I have, but yeah, so it could be a first time for me.
Okay, that's interesting. That's really interesting.
You know what? I've actually seen Poltergeist 3, but I've not seen the original.
So you don't know about trees and scary clowns or any of that stuff?
No, I just remember from Poltergeist 3 the bloke with the cowboy hat on, the Reverend.
No, forget him. Forget him. With this, not even worth mentioning. He just pops up in the second one and carries on from there.
Oh, right.
Okay. Jim?
Well, this film does have a special place in my heart, as it was one of the very first films we rented on DVD.
Oh.
And I think I'd have been 12, 13 at the time. And I blagged my dad into getting it out, even though it was an 18. Because I said, look, it's a Spielberg film.
Oh, God.
And it shit me up good and proper. Not the whole thing, but it did have it was just like a big, scary ghost train throwing things at you. And a couple of them really did stick home. I'll just say, fucking clown.
Yes, fuck that.
And not to give anything away in case Darren hasn't seen it, The Mirror.
Oh, yes.
They really fucked with me. Well, I mean, when I've watched it in later years, I've been a tad underwhelmed in the past watching it.
Right.
As it's kind of, I found, it is just a big ghost train ride.
But
it's still just tremendous fun.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. So you looking forward to it this time around? Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've given it a spin. So I'm quite looking forward to going back and joining in with the dialogue at certain points.
Yeah.
Looking forward. I'm intrigued to see some of the big set pieces again as well.
Yeah, because I was going to say, because my abiding memory of this was those scenes, to quote Adam Sandler, "Fuck you, clown." Yeah, definitely. But I have to say, I haven't seen this film in probably close on 15, 16 years.
Wow.
It used to be on sort of like a constant rotation on video for a while. Because I really enjoy the script. It's kind of really, it's kind of pithy and quite funny in places as well.
Yeah. And
there's lots of little sort of tropes that, about it, which I can't say because if you haven't seen it, it's going to ruin it. But there's little things that, sort of crop up in other horror films, since. And of course there's that end sequence, i.e. the best way to clean a house. But yeah, overall, my abiding memory of this is a good ghost ride. It's there to creep you out, and it's there to have fun doing it. It's not there to terrify you. It's just there to sort of spook you a bit. And yes,
bit creepy.
Yeah, and the real reason that really kind of stuck in my mind is, and again, it's probably a bit like Wolf Creek. It's probably I'm setting myself up to watch Postman Only Rings twice again. But the thing that sticks in my mind was that when I first saw this film, I was living at my parents' house, and outside they had a tree. That's all I got to say. They had a tree. It was outside. Luckily, a couple of weeks later, there was a bloody big storm, and they ended up cutting that fucking tree down because it pretty much half ended up in the street. But I was very, very happy that happened.
I can imagine.
Yes. So, yes, if you don't like trees, if you don't like clowns, if you don't like static on TV, probably best to avoid this one, I think. But overall, I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping that it still has that sense of fun and power that it had when I last saw it. But like I say, it was about 15 odd years ago.
Wow.
So it'll be interesting to see how I view it, especially after I sort of bigged up Wolf Creek and then suddenly sat there with egg on my face for like the last 2 hours while trying to beat the computer to death with a rubber mallet.
So Darren, what did you think? It was a load of old shit.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be saying that.
No.
I think you'll, but anyway.
We'll see.
Yeah. So we'll find out what happens when Mr. Incredible meets ghosts.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Showtime. Right. Well, and that's it for us. So, hopefully next week will be a lot less technical gubbins, cock-ups, and yes,
we got the poltergeist activity out of the way this week.
Yes, hopefully. Yes. And yes, we'll see you all next week for Poltergeist. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Now is the time to say goodbye. Goodbye. Now is the time to yield a sigh. Yield it, yield it. Now is the time to wait.